And let me make sure everything is done. Hello, friends and viewers. Welcome to another exciting episode of my game development live stream. Let me check one thing right quick. Um, Not sure where. mm, Bottom, size, center, horizontally and vertically. Properties is an outline. I'm not seeing it, but I added some text up here to show where the prototype version of Sara the Shieldmage as it currently stands is. I've been working on it for the week. I've got it to a point where I have a very basic playable build in this little cave scene, so that you can see exactly what I've been up to. So yeah, I went ahead and tried to put up on screen the link to where you can play this. You can play it from asvardual.github.io/Sara-the-shieldmage. So that's a thing. Another thing that you would probably want out of this. Why is this ad open in my? Okay. Another thing you would probably want to know is the controls. It's WASD to move, F to cast spells or instantly cast a spell. And by that, let me show you what I mean by actually playing it. So the point of this whole scene is that it's just a little cave, but we've got this hall of spikes here. The way you do that is you hit F to get your little ghostly version of the spell. Hit F again, ow, to place it, and then time your spell casts so that you don't fall on the spikes. Ow. You just stop falling on the spikes. It's not that hard. There we go. And one more ought to do it. There we go. And you can see the chest up there, but can't reach it, right? Well, you can just click that. Yeah, you can get your mana crystal. I haven't implemented the reward yet. That's something I'm going to do, but this is just a proof of concept level. And of course, I leave you an escape route so you don't have to go through that to get back to the entrance. So normally there would be like a travel trigger right here, but in this case there's not, because this is just my proof of concept level. So there you go. That's all there is to that. Now for the good stuff. We can get into what I'm actually going to be doing on the live stream today. Oh yeah, for those of you who are watching from the future on YouTube, you will be able to see this in the video description. So yeah, if you want to see what I've done so far on the prototype, you just go to the prototype link that I have in the video description, and it should all be fine. Right. So we need a couple more things though to finish out this prototype, and mostly by that I mean a UI, because it's not immediately obvious that Sara is casting a spell at all. One of the other things I'm going to be doing at probably off camera is creating a spell casting animation for Sara. But since there's people who want to see that the code of the game, well, that's something I'm going to go ahead and wind up actually doing on screen for you guys so you can see that. And then I'm going to go back behind it and in the second 45 minutes and create the actual pieces of the user interface. So that's the plan. Let's get started. First things first, I need to create a new folder. GUI presenters, and you're going to see why I go with this in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and create a script called spellcasting presenter. And for those of you just joining the stream, welcome. Make yourself at home. While MonoDevelop starts up. There we go. Oh yeah, I was trying to work on some shaders, but I got a little bit irritated at Unity yesterday. Some of their documentation on how their shaders work is really not helpful. So I kind of gave them some choice words about that one, but I'm not worrying with shader programming yet. I have a lot I need to learn about that, and there's actually a completely separate programming language for writing shaders, and I'll probably be able to work that into some of the stuff I'm planning later. But well, for right now, let's just work on this. Uh, So first thing I'm doing, normally scripts inherit from mono behavior. However, I've created a few base classes of my own. One of these is called presenter base. If I go to that declaration for you, it has its own little start, on GUI, and update structure, but it also has these abstract methods. And all that means for those of you who haven't yet encountered this in programming is there's a concept where you can create a class that has certain information, but it also says that this particular class cannot be directly used. You have to also provide implementations for certain functions. It works kind of like a contract, that the code that's going to be using it has to do certain things. Doesn't care how you do it, just you have to do them. So yeah, that's sort of what's going on with presenter base. It shows things, it tweens GUI elements for you, it sets up a link to the Maestro object, which is a little object I created that manages all of the sound effects actually. It's actually it's not terribly complex of an object, so I'm not going to show the Maestro off. But yeah, it's totally there. So let's keep going. First thing I do is I always create my regions. And now I need to be implementing some things, actually. Let me go ahead and create my overrides. And this line I'm doing right here, it's a little bit of boilerplate, but it comes into play with some of the fadeable GUI objects that I've had set up for literally years now. Draw me and tween. All right, there we go. That's all that boilerplate taken care of. Another thing we're going to need, though, is a link to a little bit of code called the spell manager. Actually, no, that's going to be handled by the controller. Never mind. Never mind. I'll get into what I mean by controller sooner or later, viewers. Worry not. So first thing we need is a public as image, and this is going to be just going to call that background. I'm going to create a label too because I want to like say what the name of the spell is or provide some status text. So I'm just going to call it spell label. That's nice and short. I'm going to add some other stuff onto this, but since we're just trying to get something to appear on the screen, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Then I'm going to do my spell label. So if you're wondering what I just did here, there is some built-in stuff to this as Vardual image and as Vardual label that it has its own little update cycle. Actually, it's not an update cycle. It's implemented through the tween where it has a current tint and a target tint. And every time we tween, not only is the position, there's also a position and target position thing going on too. Every time we tween, it moves the GUI object a little bit closer to that target position until it gets close enough, then it stops. But yeah, right. This is just the very basics. So let's go ahead and finish out this tween method. Oh, background. I put it twice. And it needs to be a semicolon. There we go. That's what I like to see. All right. And then just gonna say draw me. There we go. Hooray! Go ahead and get started with getting all this set up. Now, one thing I do need to do actually is I need to create a special prefab. That's going to be for the specific GUI manager for this game. Pretty much what's going to happen is I need to go ahead and add a child. This is going to be our spell presenter. Like so. See, didn't go far enough. Spellcasting presenter. There we go. So there's some things I need to do first. Let me go ahead and put in some necessary information for our scaling. It's going to be general. I don't think it's going to need a button sound. There's going to be other things that'll happen with this. Easy there. Go ahead and set all these basic values up. I probably should set it up so that by default the tint and target tint are white with no alpha, but well, it'll be fine. Let's see. Both of these need to be relative. Actually, go ahead and set that so it'll fade in. There we go. Alright, so nothing is really drawing. That's because I didn't give it a dimension. That's cool. I'm going to say something like that. Let's try this again. Yeah, so yeah, we have a little label down here. What we're going to wind up wanting to do is we're going to want to wind up making this reflect the name of the spell that you are currently using, and then whenever you hit F to go into targeting mode, they'll say like something like hit F to cast the spell, which then it will, like so. Oh yeah, want to see something really funny? This is gonna make you laugh. Yeah. Want to see it again? Drop it on the head, right? Yeah. Okay. That's just a little issue with some of the way the physics interact with each other that just seems just kind of interesting and awkward. But yeah, I mean we can see that our target tint now properly works. Yeah, so we need to figure out a way to to get this guy to cooperate nicely. So let me go ahead and get this going. We need a controller for this. If you've done any prior programming stuff, especially anything with the web, I use in my code a sort of a variant of model view controller almost. The way I do that, the reason I do that is because I want to keep the business data separated from my presenters. The whole point of a presenter is just to show information. That's it. The whole point of a controller is to make sure there's a good sound way of getting there. And of course, the business logic, it either exists on the ambassador or right now some of it exists directly inside of the player object, but that's probably not going to be a final arrangement. So let's go ahead and create a controller and do this again. So, and this time I have a different base class, and it might seem a little weird to see me doing it this way. A spellcasting controller that inherits from a manager base of the type spellcasting controller. I probably need to explain myself with that one. Go to declaration for you. Pretty much the whole point of a manager base is it's sort of like a mini singleton, except that it's not a singleton. The point of one of these is to expose an instance of itself. So usually by convention there is only one. So exposing an instance just gives my scripts a nice, easy way to hook into this manager and get the benefits of the control. The reason I don't use a static class is because, funny enough, in Unity, static classes do not. Well, there's some weirdness with static classes. I pretty much wound up having to do it this way. So there we go. Also, this notation here. It's for a manager base of T, which inherits from a debuggable behavior where T is a derivative of a Unity object, and that's very important. Otherwise, you can't hook into any of the like start and awake and update and fixed update and that sort of thing. So if it's going to be a behavior, it has to probably inherit from Unity object. So with that out of the way, we actually need to write the controller. Let me get started on that. Okay. So we need a start function because one of the key things that we're going to have to do, actually, yeah, we're going to have to hook into a manager. So there's going to be a spellcasting controller, spell man. Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to go ahead and create this link to the spell manager's instance. The reason being, I want to know what the current spell is so that I can pass that down to my GUI. Then I need to I'm just going to do update presenter active spell. There we go. I can go ahead and implement that function right quick. While I'm at it, I need to go ahead and create the link down to the child. Children casting presenter. That'll just find the child object that is a spellcasting presenter. Nothing too scary with that. And then the interface. Yeah, that ought to work. Oh, and while I'm at it, set visibility true. There we go. So yeah, nothing too bad. I do need to implement that down in the spellcasting presenter though, that update interface thing. So let's go ahead and do that right quick. Oh yeah, those are just hooks. This is going to be a little bit more interesting. So update interface. Spell. And if you don't do any programming, it might seem kind of weird to say spell. This is a type. This is the name. So I can just so I can do really cool stuff. Actually, let me create another image. I can do something like .image equals spell dot thumbnail spell label text equals spell dot name. Probably need to add this to my tween and draw me methods. And because these are procedurally executed methods that they just go straight down the line, order does matter, but you can override that to a degree with a integer with an integer layer property exposed in the editor. The layer thing is just what it sounds like if you're in something in a 2D engine, where things that are closer to 0 or values that are smaller get shown in front of things that have a bigger layer value. So that's all that's going on with that. But go ahead and get that taken care of too. Target tint.a opacity. There we go. All done. Okay. Yeah, so now we need to go and update this class. We need a texture 2D for the thumbnail and yeah, we just need a texture 2D for the thumbnail. So like so. Alrighty. That should be everything. There should be no more syntax errors. Yay, there we go. Okay. Still haven't figured out what's causing that weird syntax error, but yeah. So we've got working code. Actually, what we don't have the controller on here. That's sort of important. There we go. Apply this. Move this up a little bit. Continue. Continue. In theory, I could bake this into my player HUD controller. No, that's in my side scroller framework. Huh. I'll have to think about what to do with that. Oh, hey there, Crystalline Entertainment. How's it going? Yeah, Crystalline Entertainment. The correct use does often come with practice. I'm a programmer by profession, so I sort of do this every day. So I can't really. If I screw up the right way to do it, that is completely my fault. But yeah, it just takes practice. I would just say write code. Write code, get feedback from your peers and people more experienced than you, and eventually, with time, practice, and some failures and criticisms, you will actually get probably really good at it. Um, it it's a skill that anyone can. It is a skill that anyone can pick up. It's just you have to practice it, just like writing music or creating art. So, unfortunately, there's no quick answer around that. Right. So, I've got a controller. Let's see what we got. All right, summon block. There we go. That's the name of our most basic spell right now. So I think I can safely say that that bit of the code is about done um, for right now. I have to add in some other things, maybe some clickable buttons so that the user can toggle between different spells in their repertoire, bind those toggling up to specific keys. But right now, what we have is basically serviceable, and that is what's important. Um, so actually only been about 30 minutes. That's a pretty early time to step away from coding, but well, um, yeah, I guess we sort of have to. Um, and we're not going to get much further if we just stick with code. So I need to actually start doing some art for you guys right quick. And boot up GIMP for you guys. Yeah, so probably the thing I want to do right now is just create a really basic thumbnail and a background and get it to work. Really, go ahead and do 60 by 160 by 60 is a little thin, actually. Probably needs to be something more like 160 by 96. There we go. That's a lot better. Okay. Go ahead and create a transparent background like always. Okay. Been making dinner while watching. Oh no. Okay. Well, Crystalline Entertainment, just come back when you can. I should still be broadcasting 45 minutes from now. Hope you enjoy your dinner. And while you're doing that, I will be recording. So, oh yeah, then speaking of, great thing, you can always just watch YouTube and you can see what I'm doing while you're away eating. That's why y'all should totally follow my YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/the Asvardual project. So yeah, with that little self plug taken care of, let's go ahead and keep on working. So one of the first things we need to do actually, yeah, that's not going to work well. Need to increase the size a bit. No, don't go there. There we go. Alrighty, see you in a few, Crystalline. Alright, so we need just a really basic user interface of some description. So there we go. This will be a slightly darkened area. I'm not too concerned about the edges because I am planning to go back after the fact and overwrite those. So yeah, there we go. That looks good. Now, what I really don't want to do with this, actually, need to rename this panel because it's a panel. What I really want to do with this sort of leave a almost roughish dark texture here. Oh, that's a little bit low. Then I'll create a little region, 64 by 64 pixels. Like so. Which I can then treat about like I treat most of the stuff that you've seen out of me so far. So I'm gonna go and give it about 2. There we go. Then go ahead and just keep about 2 pixels between me and the edge of this image. So yeah, there we go. So we needed about, I feel like I've screwed up somehow. I know I've screwed up there, but oh, easy there. Stop spazzing out on me. No. So yeah, okay. So I know I've screwed up in a couple places, but it's just fine. Oh, not like that. Then get that out, black that out. Do my little alpha trick. Alrighty. And with that, I can go ahead and just do a Gaussian blur. About 2 pixels ought to do it. Alright, keep going. Unfortunately, the outline is there, so I can reinforce it just like I did with my sort of heart, my GUI for all the bit systems. We'll have a nice consistent look, which is absolutely what you want when creating video game art. I've seen more novice projects, even more novice than mine, mark you, that look that way, not because of their content, like their gameplay, their systems, their music and everything even was generally pretty sound, but their graphic style, they had a what was a very obvious mishmash of visuals. Nothing was of a consistent style. It looked crappy. It looked thrown together, and well, that was a turnoff. It's not that I have anything against lower or older art styles. Don't get me wrong. It's just that if you want to suspend your player's disbelief, you've got to have some form of consistency in your art style. It is a necessary thing. Alright, so what I could do if I really wanted, I could take that away entirely and do something else with the panel. I might do that, but yeah, for right now, it's the spell section box. Then I'll create another layer even on top of that one. I'm gonna have that for the like for the label line. Let's try that again. There we go. All right. Then I'm just going to draw this most of the way over. I'm going to do something about all those flubs in just a second. No, 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 stop it. Stop it, computer. It's not nice. There we go. So it's cool. I don't mind if the black does it because I'm just going to do my alpha trick to the black. There we go. That's all of that. Okay, so that's a thing. So I'm going to do a image. Do a Gaussian blur again. Then just like before, not like that. There we go. No, not like that. There we go. All right, cool. That's a thing. Go ahead and save this. All right. So let me go ahead and export this out. So it's going to be right here for us in Unity. Go ahead, make that a GUI image. True color. There we go. And then put this baby on our presenter. It's going to look horrible, but we're going to fix that. Apply. See what we got. Okay, so that's not too bad actually. Well, first the alignment isn't quite right. Probably going to be more like, I can just experiment right now at 0.01, maybe 0.025. Yeah, that's a lot better. Let me go ahead and get past this puzzle right quick actually. Ow. Ow. There we go. Okay. Yeah, could probably do some stuff with that. It's not it's not good because it's set up to be anchored like this. That's not quite right. Oh, like so. Because that brings this line equal to all those bits up there. And actually what I probably should do is move my mana bits down here so that they're more obviously associated with the spell interface too. That would probably be another very good idea. Actually, no, that part will be easy enough. This panel layer though isn't doing us a lot of favors. I'm actually gonna go ahead and do something very similar to what I did before. Just gonna go ahead and give that a slight highlight there. Hey Samurai Gun Kid, how's it going, man? Yeah, I wouldn't say it's looking good yet. It's very much a work in progress. What I'm doing is I'm creating a UI for the spellcasting system I have in my prototype of Sara the Shieldmage. And what's funny is I actually have my prototype in its current state up on my GitHub IO site for it. You can go to GitHub asvardual.github.com/Sara the Shieldmage, and you can actually play the prototype right now. But what I'm doing is I'm making a few enhancements so that it's a little bit more playable. And the most obvious one is this spellcasting interface. The people who I just put it in front of to take a look at it and see if my ideas were sound and worth building on, they all like the idea of playing a game through summoned objects, which I sort of planned for. But what they had said about it, though, was that it felt like the spellcasting system was a bit buggy because the way I have it right now, you hit F to go into spellcasting mode. You either hit F again to cast your spell or X to back out of it. So they thought, and while you're in spellcasting mode, your movement is completely halted. You can't move your character while you're casting a spell. So what I'm thinking I do for the in the short term is create this interface, change the spellcasting key to more of it's more of a whenever it's down, you're in spellcasting mode, but you release it and you're good, and you cast with the left mouse button. Um, that's what I'm thinking I do with the controls to make the spellcasting system make a little bit more sense. So yeah, I can just go ahead and re-export this guy. Clear all that debug information. Let's try again. Stupid no ref. Okay, so that's not terrible. What I can do 0.8 5 9 8 7 5 8 8 5. There we go. That's actually not too bad. Actually, let me try 8 0 8 8 5. No. Let's just stick with the plan. Yeah, summon block. There we go. Alright, so it's going to be 0.06, 0.885 on the label. There we go. Save it. Oh, cool, Samurai Gun Kid. I like that you've seen my other Unity works. Yeah, the hero's journey. I have some improvements actually planned for that. It's so far the best game I've yet made, but well, I think you can see from Sara the Shieldmage that I haven't quite hit the top of what I can do just yet. So I'll work on that. I'm glad you like what I've done, though. That's it's really good to hear that people are enjoying my work. That's the whole reason I make games. If y'all didn't enjoy it, well, then I'd have to just settle for playing more Civilization 5. Or actually, in about a month, it's going to be Civilization. There we go. Screw spikes. It's actually going to be Civilization Beyond Earth. Oh, that's a problem. The text box. Okay, well, I don't have to solve that problem right now. Yeah, the problem I found is if I open this, yeah, it's not hiding the spell interface, so you get confusion going on here. And that's not good, but you know what? That's actually not too terrible, because we can just have a code hook so that whenever you click something, it just tells this interface to go run away and hide, and then the end conversation thing tells this to resume. So that's cool. I can figure that out off screen though. Motivate you, but you get frustrated with scripting, huh? Well, actually, what's funny is you missed out on some of the programming at the very start of my stream. Funny enough, I actually wound up writing the presenter and the controller for this. Yeah, the presenter just has the two tweenable images, has a whole bunch of hooks to actually draw and tween stuff, and a method that is exposed so that we can uh, tell stuff to show up on screen. Um, right now, that's all there is to this. There's going to be more in the future. I haven't implemented like the ability to swap back and forth between spells just yet, but well, we're getting there, and that'll probably happen in a future. That probably will happen in a future episode. I think that'd be a really good thing to show you guys. But um, yeah, there's some other more advanced stuff I did. Also, Samurai Gun Kid. Remember, oh, like pixel art style game. Yeah, pixel art in Unity is pretty awesome. I have to admit. For a long time, those 2D tools simply didn't exist. I joined the Unity forums in 2009, shortly after I downloaded Unity free for the first time. And if you wanted 2D stuff, you pretty much wound up just hacking the crap out of Unity. And well, that's not the case anymore. But I still like doing this sort of hybrid 2D and 3D style. I really like the way it sort of flows together. It's sort of like Pokemon for the 3DS. I really just sort of like the way pixel art and 3D models can blend together if done properly, and I'm trying to figure out the way to do it properly. That's something important to me, and it's not just because of the look either. I have a very real world reason for doing it that way. And that's because modern video game art is incredibly expensive to create. Art is actually probably more technical than programming in modern games. Um, if you want to create a decent 3D character, you have to create your high geometry sculpted model. You have to create the low geometry version, bake texture maps, bake textures, bake just all sorts of stuff. It can take you a couple of days to make a single freaking character. And it's not that doing it in pixel art is necessarily even it's not necessarily faster, but pixel art tools are a lot better progressed, I would say. I mean, we've been playing pixel art games for decades. People know how to create pixels really well. Um, I'm actually reading some of those tutorials because if you saw earlier, my animations still aren't up to snuff, and well, I need to get that taken care of before I start coloring anything in. But yeah, I really love all that's to say is yeah, I really think pixel art is the way we're gonna bring down the cost of game art. Not because it's simple, Not because it's old, not because it somehow looks better, but because it's a different style, but it can be more cheaply done. The way I look at games, other than being a good experience, is they are also a software package. Um, you have to ship them, or it may as well have not happened. So yeah, that's my motivation for going with my style, and that's what I think we're going to have to do if we want to create games that are affordable enough for our audience. But that's just me. I'm one man, and I'm not necessarily the top man to go to for that. But yeah, enough of that that rather depressing topic. I feel modern games could be made a lot more simply, but I'm also not a AAA developer either, so that sort of gets in the way of some of my assertions. 64, 64. What the heck? Okay. 66 by 71. Okay, that's a little different. Oh, yeah, that's because I did it this way. Okay. Yeah, now I know what I'm doing. Okay. So I created this larger, it's probably more like 80 by 80, but yeah, what's going to wind up happening though, I feel this is good. This is a good spellcasting background. I need to go ahead and create us another folder in Unity. And this is going to be for spell icons. So we need to create a spell icon. That's also sort of important. Um, and what I'm going to go ahead and do in this is going to be a master document for all of the spell icons. I'm just going to do sort of like I did with Sara Sprite, where I just turn these on and off at will. And the first one for summon block is going to be kind of interesting. So I need a couple of things first. Because pretty much what I'm doing is I'm going to be drawing a cube. Oh, not like that. That's kind of ugly. Let's see, this is 31. Ew. That's even uglier in its own way. Because it's not correct. So this is the left half of the... Actually, what am I doing? There's an easy way to do this. I only have to... It just occurred to me, I only have to draw half of this cube. Oh, opacity's on. Right. Yeah, like I was saying, I only have to draw half of this cube. I don't have to push every pixel on this image. That is not necessary. So... Oh, not like that. Stylus is giving me problems tonight. It's not like some of my earlier videos where stuff was just, horribly crashing and dying. It's just it's not obeying my commands. No, not like that. That's gonna be like the title of this video, game development stream, Sara the Shieldmage. No, not like that. Actually, it probably won't. But that would be kind of funny. Right, so... Oh, well, I'm just gonna nuke the background. I'm gonna nuke the black color around this anyhow. So it's all good. Problems. Big problems. Not gonna work problems. angle's too big. That's the problem. So pretty much the way I would be drawing a cube 2D like this is I have to pretty much I have to create a hexagon instead. That's going to be kind of interesting. So go ahead and go out to here. Need to do it at about, so this is 0, yeah, so I need to do it at 15. 64 minus 16 is 48. 63 minus 16 though is 47. There we go. Then I will do the same thing. 47, 61, 47, and then 61, 7. There we go. Right. No, not like that. Okay, maybe I am going to name this video Not Like That. That would be kind of funny. Okay. So if I do this 2, it should reach it exactly at the point. Theory. It's going to be close. Oh, no cigar. That's okay though. That's good enough. All right. There we go. Much closer. And because I only have to do half of the image, something I did not forget about, go ahead and go to 31, 32. Okay, go ahead and copy that and paste that and correctly align that and rotate that like so. There we go. See, I had it in me. Totally did. Oh, and that shows me that I have a little bit more work to do because I didn't do it properly. That's cool. Okay. All right. So going on this, actually, all I have to do is create the faces of the box. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a formal art education and you've been practicing drawing boxes, it is actually useful for game development. So there we go. I like that. Okay. So actually what I want to do is I want to keep on working with the image like this because I can do some interesting stuff. One of the things I want to do want to make this a kind of a almost mystical kind of symbol. It's a hexagon. It's got three-way symmetry. Actually, let me show you something right quick. One of my inspirations. So this is the prefab for the summon block, right? Well, if I move it just right, just get a really cool image. Okay, that's close enough. But yeah, see how there's sort of those concentric circles, the really awesome pattern coming there. I would love to capture that. Actually, that's going to be my reference image. Let's try to do just that. Um, okay. So I need a circle. Go. Then all I have to do, oh no, not like that. Then all I have to do, oh that's cool, it does a transparency effect for you too when using the pencil. Huh. Actually, I could keep doing this, but that's kind of redundant. Alright. So then I need a even bigger circle. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3. Then I should be able to do, no. Invert. No. Ugh. Hmm. Alternatively, I could just save it and do it later, but it's not really what I want to do. Okay, so how does this look? It's 100%, that's not very... Actually, what we could do... Oh, do like this. Here we go. I've got it. There will be no giving up on this channel today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so all I have to do is third, 2, 3, fourth one down. Then it's one. Like so. That's a sort of a basic pattern there. With a little bit of a glow that's not going to be very impressive, however. I need that impressiveness. This needs to feel magical. That's very important. There we go. And this guy is going to be a little bit more tough. Right, so it's going to be like 3, 2. No, that it's not. No, not like that it's not. No, not like that it's not. The curve is all wrong. I'm not going to stick with that, but I am going to try to fix it. Is that right? That's better. That's much better. Okay. So then all I have to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And no. Okay. Then it's going to be so that. So yeah, that's sort of basic. I'm going to stick with it though. Okay, there is some artifacts though. I'm not cool with that. Get rid of these artifacts. Because that's another sort of just, it's another very amateur thing to leave in. So there we go. Then oh, and I missed a spot. Go me. And I failed to color in some spots. Oh, what? I missed that too? Okay, that's just ridiculous. There we go. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just, for the sake of demonstration, deactivate this. Just going to go ahead and give it a name, IP. I showed this one instead because I'm just going to use a very basic version of this for demonstration purposes. So then I'll copy this guy again, show it on top, so we get that nice little glowy effect. So actually, while I'm at it, go ahead and add all these layers here. Oh, yeah. So that's not getting shown. Should be showing above that. There we go. go ahead and finally export an image. I can work on making this more geometrically complex later on, and really working towards that that very sort of magical, mystical kind of look to it. But for right now, just getting a user interface taken care of, that's still great. But yeah, look at that. That is so awesome, though. Okay, I could spend a lot of time trying to get this to actually that is lined up just right. Whatever, I'll come back to it. So we need one other thing, and that's in our game mechanics manager, because we need our spell to have a thumbnail. So let's go ahead and do that. While we're at it, we need to properly import this guy. 64 true color. It's transparent. There we go. That's what I like to see. Alright, so we should see a neat little block. Actually, spell icon needs to be in the right place. And I need to fill in the rest of these values too, because I did sort of add in the block at a later point. Yeah. It's not going to be correct, but let's see how it unfolds. That's close, not too bad. Let's see, 0.55. Let's go ahead and put this at 0.8. No, 775. 7725. 765. 75. Okay, I guess we'll go with that. 0.55 by 0.7675. Alrighty. Yay for relative positioning. Alrighty. Oh, and in case you're wondering, the GUI system is something that I wrote quite a bit ago. Okay, so we know what spell we're using. Screen doesn't look quite as dead. Ow, crap. Go. Mana? There we go. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, the screen doesn't look quite as dead now. Alright, there we go. Managed to get through the little test bed level nice and easily. But, yeah, one of the other things that I needed to do, though, was I needed to be able to tell the player, to... Actually, no, I didn't. I'm thinking about this wrong. What I was intending to do, actually, with the base of this, is whenever you hit F, instead of just your cursor appearing, was to actually put Sara into a little casting animation depending on which direction she's facing. That would probably take another hour and a half, which honestly, I don't like broadcasting more than an hour and a half in the first place. I noticed that people just don't seem quite as happy with the quality of the recording after that point, and I start having a hard time explaining stuff. But yeah, that's one of the conceits of this system, is that when you're in spellcasting mode, I'm hitting WASD now, see nothing's happening, you would normally have an animation that tells you, I am casting a spell right now. Like so. Ow. Don't jump into the spikes. Okay. Oh yeah, want to see what happens when you die, other than a null ref? Yes, the scene just restarts. This is exactly what happened in the hero's journey. So yeah, that is a very, very basic UI. What I'm probably going to wind up doing is adding some methods such that you can hit keyboard keys, probably Q and E, subject to rebinding, and also have some buttons about right here and right here that you could just go click, 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 and toggle through your repertoire of spells. I also need to scale this guy down a little bit um, so it's not so horrible. I don't like how it's fitting like exactly on the edge of the square. I'd sort of had something more like The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, where the icon just nicely fits inside of the box allocated for it. Um, Although, like I said, that's probably another hour and a half of development, though. Oh yeah, there is one other thing I wanted to do. Let's do this. Um, I actually want to nudge the whole thing about 0.05 units up. Let's see what that does. Because what I want to do is I want to move the mana system below the spellcasting system. So yeah, I want this. Oh, that's actually not quite lined up still. I want this to be under the mana. Both here, mana here. Subject to player feedback, of course. That's sort of just a functional preference of mine. So go ahead. Oh yeah, relative crap breaks it. Dang it. That's not good. Okay, well, tell you what. I've got a better plan then. Actually, this probably won't break it. Let's see what happens. For the sake of experimentation. This is for science. Okay, so it's not horrible. So 0.025. Then I could go ahead and put it at like 0.925. 91. There we go, 0.91. All right. And then I will just anchor most of this. I'll move everything over 0.025 units. Yeah. There we go. And the reason I'm obsessing over these decimal points so much is I want to create a grid. This where everything just sort of neatly fits together. Like, see how nicely lined up everything is? Yeah, that's sort of what I'm going for with this. Actually, there is a little bit of problem though, because see, this isn't perfectly lined up, and like the closer you get to a perfect grid, the more these sort of imperfections stand out. Try dropping this. Yeah, 0.2 is good. 0.25 is good. So I do need to move it looks like I need to move everything over about 0.05 units. Whoa. fade. There we go. Fade. There we go. One more time. Then there's another problem too, and that's that with these white stuff here, we do sort of need a background on this so that you can see the white, because see the white sort of blending in. But yeah, right now it's looking a little bit better, but I would like to hear from you, chat. What do you think about that setup? Would you prefer that the mana bits be closer to your health, or is it okay to have the mana bits be close to the spell interface? I would like your feedback while I'm working on that background. If you have no opinion, that's cool too. But it would help me if you did. Actually, I can use my stylus for this. Not like that. No, not like that either. Put the mana units up closer to the health to consolidate things. Okay, that makes sense, Crystal. I'll go ahead and do that. Go ahead and create the background for this though, because that was a pretty serious problem actually. Like that. Okay, I think with the number of times I've said not like that, that's going to be the title. No, not like that either. Heck no, not like that. That's going to be the title of this episode. Okay. It's going to start sectioning this off into boxes, I think. Alrighty. And sure enough, when I'm working on a game, someone is calling me. Even this late, it's 9:55 where I'm at. Someone's calling me at this hour. That's kind of crazy. That doesn't look too bad. No, that doesn't. That looks good. I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna. Whoa. I'm gonna add a slight bevel to this so that it stylistically ties together. Then I'll fix that mana problem, and that'll probably be the last thing I fix before calling it a stream. None. Good. Much better. Okay, so I'm about to move the mana GUI right back where it was before. Spikes. Alright, there we go. We're having a lot less blending in with the spikes. I could probably make the alpha a little more strong, but yeah, I think that will work. I'll have to work on it a bit off camera. And before I forget, I will honor what I said. And move the mana units back. Thank you very much for that suggestion, Crystalline Entertainment. That helps. Whoa, not like that. That was ugly. That was like in the middle of this, like the vertical middle-ish of the screen. That was unexpected, actually. That's not much better. 6.5. 7.5. 0.15. Actually, 0.15 is pretty good. That's cool. Just like that. Apply, save. Alright, yeah, and there's going to be 2 rows of health, similar to a Zelda game. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to keep on working on this as time allows. What I'm probably going to do next week is, as part of a promise to my Game Jolt players for the Hero's Journey, next week I'm going to be doing some work on camera with the Hero's Journey and not Sara the Shieldmage. That's mostly just because I want to do some support for that game and make sure that before I completely call it a absolutely 100% done game, I want it to be in a little better shape, and the community around it on Game Jolt apparently agrees. I got some good feedback on my little blog post about like the state of the game and what I'm going to do with it. So next week at 8:30 p.m. I'm going to be showing some more improvements to the Hero's Journey. I'm going to be posting my prototype. Those of you who are watching from the future will be able to see the URL for my playable prototype. That you can play it. You can feel it for yourself. You can sort of see what works and what doesn't. You can give me some feedback if you like on that. And then 2 weeks from now, when I live stream another Sara the Shieldmage dev session, I'm gonna try to have more of the animations in better shape. I'm gonna try to include at least one more spell off camera that we'll probably spend some time balancing in that broadcast. I'll probably make a completely different test stage to show off whatever that new mechanic is. So I think this is a good place to stop the episode. Thank you all very much for watching, particularly Samurai Gun Kid and Crystalline Entertainment. Shoutouts to both of y'all. And as always, I'll see you again at 8:30 p.m. Next Sunday. If you have any feedback, you want to know more about this, you can either catch me on YouTube at youtube.com/user/the Asvardual Project. You can of course follow my Twitch, And you can go to that little link that those of you watching in the future will see, so you can play the prototype that you see here. And it will. And actually, after I'm done recording, I'm going to be pushing up these changes to my Git repository and updating the prototype for you. So I certainly hope you've enjoyed that. It's been a little on the short side this episode, but I'm sort of happy with how this went. As always, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I hope I'll see you next time. Peace.